Welcome back to Glory Recap. Today we are going to recap and review a sci-fi adventure movie called Outlander. The film begins by showing a meteor that is entering Earth's atmosphere and is about to land in a lake. The thing turns out to be not a meteor, but a spaceship that crashes and accidentally lands on Earth. Two men in the spaceship who look like astronauts immediately get out to save themselves, and they are elite soldiers from another planet. One of those who is still conscious is Kainan, but he also falls unconscious. The following day, Kainan wakes up and realizes that his friend has died. He tries to ask for help using the advanced computer he has, but unfortunately there's no spaceship that can pick him up at that time because he has been separated from his colony. The computer then tells him that he is currently on planet Earth during the Iron Age, specifically in Norway in 750 AD. The computer also teaches him all the vocabulary on Earth so that he can automatically master every language on Earth. After he buries his friend, he then tests his advanced weapon, which can emit a kind of explosive laser. Afterwards, Kainan starts walking through the river in the jungle, and he seems to be hunting for something. He then arrives at a ravaged Viking camp and finds a whale carcass, but he believes there is something wrong after finding no body there. Shortly after, he sees something moving behind the bushes. He tries to chase it, but suddenly he is hit by a Viking, which causes his weapon to be thrown into the river and also makes him pass out. The Viking's name is Wulfric, and he immediately takes him to the Viking village. The Viking tribe is led by a king named Roygard, who is training his daughter Freyja to fight like a man. Hrothgar wants Freyja to marry Wulfric because he is the son of a previous king named Halga, but Freyja refuses because she doesn't like him at all and only sees him as a friend. Wulfric then comes to tell Hrothgar that another Viking village led by Gunnar has been ravaged and robbed. Gunnar and his troops are currently going out. However, Hrothgar is very worried if Gunnar misunderstands and thinks they were the ones who carried out the attack. Then Wulfric tries to interrogate Kainan to make him admit that it was all Kainan's and his tribe's doing. Kainan explains to them that he is hunting a monster like a dragon, and he says that he is from an island in the north and he didn't do any attacks on Gunnar's village. However, they don't believe what he said and immediately beat him until he is battered. After that, Wulfric goes to meet Freyja and asks her to treat Kainan, but on the other hand, Kainan himself takes advantage of the situation to untie the rope in his hand using a hot iron. Shortly afterwards, Freyja comes to treat and clean his wound. When Freyja is about to finish her task, she notices that the rope in Kainan's hands has untied. Freyja tries to alert the men, but Kainan immediately hits her and knocks her unconscious. Although he manages to escape, Kainan is forced to wait until nightfall to get out of there. When Kainan tries to get out of the gate, suddenly two guards who are guarding the fort are attacked by something, which makes Kainan decide to return to the fort because the monster he is hunting is there. Hrothgar and all his troops immediately ran towards the fort to prepare for battle because they thought it was Gunnar and his tribe. At the same time, the creature begins attacking people inside the fort, causing chaos as they don't know who is actually attacking them. Then Kainan is finally able to find the creature and call it Moorwen, but when he tries to chase after the Moorwen, Wulfric and his friends catch him again, so the Moorwen manages to escape. The chaos in the village makes Kainan recall his bad memories when he failed to protect his wife and son from attacks by the Moorwens. The next day, they start arguing about who attacked them last night. A Viking named Boromir believes it was a French attack, while a priest thought it was a witch attack. Kainan tries to explain to them that the creature that has attacked them is a monster called Moorwens. They are a twinkling light in the darkness and kill anyone no matter if it is a human or a beast. The reason Moorwen attacked them is that he considered the village to be his territory. Kainan feels responsible for this chaos and is willing to help them catch the creature because he was the one who brought it on his spaceship to Earth. They immediately prepare to hunt Moorwen, but before they go hunting, Freyja comes and hits Kainan as revenge for what he did to her yesterday. Arriving at the jungle, they find many traces of blood and animal pieces that have been destroyed. Wulfric orders them all to split up because he thought this was all the work of beasts. Kainan tells them to stay together because splitting up is a bad idea, but they don't listen to his advice. When Kainan shows Wulfric the location where his plane crashed, suddenly one of them screams that he is being attacked by something. They immediately approach him and try to capture the creature that has attacked him, and it turns out to be a big bear. The bear tries to attack Hrothgar, but fortunately Kainan saves him on time even though his hands are tied, and then the other Vikings come to kill the bear. Hrothgar is really grateful to Kainan after he saved his life, and he finally frees Kainan and gives him a sword. In the evening, they hold a big party to celebrate their success in killing the bear. The atmosphere initially becomes quiet when Kainan attends the party as a stranger, but then Hrothgar greets him and everyone finally cheers his name. In the middle of the party, Wulfric challenges Kainan to play the shield game against him, and Kainan happily accepts the challenge. The rules of the game are simple. They have to walk on the shield for as long as possible. Wulfric starts running on the shield and challenges Kainan to chase him. Wulfric shows him a difficult move, and Kainan tries to imitate the somersault perfectly, but unfortunately the shield he is stepping on breaks and makes him fall. After that, Freya approaches Kainan to apologize for hitting him and thank him for saving her father. Kainan tells Freya that it was not the bear that attacked their village, but a creature called Moorwen that was scarier than the beast. As they are enjoying the conversation, suddenly they are attacked by Gunnar and his tribe. Freya immediately rushes to tell her father, and the war between the Vikings is inevitable. In that battle, Gunnar tries to kill Hrothgar because he believes it was Hrothgar who attacked his tribe and made his wife and son die. Hrothgar is almost killed in that fight, but Kainan comes to save him again. After fierce fighting, Gunnar's troops are finally forced to retreat and they promise to return. Gunnar decides to camp not far from Hrothgar Fort, but when they start planning their next attack, suddenly they hear the screams of some of them who are attacked by Moorwen. Gunnar can see from a close distance how Moorwen is pouncing on his men one by one, which makes him finally believe that it was Moorwen who had attacked his village. Gunnar and all the remaining members of his tribe then rush to the Hrothgar's fort to ask for protection. However, Wulfric thinks it's just a trick, so he immediately orders the archers to kill them all. But luckily Kainan comes down from the fort to open the gate for them. Moorwen then shows himself eating one of Gunnar's soldiers, which makes everyone finally see him and believe what Kainan said. The following day, Gunnar tells them that the creature is immune to swords. One of them thinks it was a god's curse and suggests that they have to leave the village immediately, but Wulfric is against the suggestion and tells them all to hunt Moorwen like Vikings. Kainan disagrees with Wulfric's idea because Moorwen is too strong to be caught in the open area, and the only way to catch him is with a trap. Wulfric laughs at his idea and taunts him that Kainan is a stranger who doesn't need to be listened to, but Hrothgar decides to choose Kainan's idea because he knows more about Moorwen. They all begin to make a big trap according to Kainan's instructions. They dig a very deep puddle and put some posts in it, and afterwards, they fill the big puddle with whale oil and put a shield on the posts that have been installed. Their trap is finally ready, and they will wait until dark to catch Moorwen. In the following scenes, Kainan and Freya continue their conversation. Freya seems to like Kainan and wants him to stay with them, but Kainan says that he is not as good as people think. He tells Freya that his people are no different from humans on Earth because they always invade and seize other planets, one of which is planet Moorwen. Kainan and his people slaughtered millions of Moorwens using fire just to seize their planet. When they thought all the Moorwen were gone, they immediately made the planet their home. However, disaster struck a few weeks later when the men left their families. A Moorwen apparently managed to survive, and she massacred hundreds of people including Kainan's wife and son. When the time to capture Moorwen comes, Kainan and Wulfric serve to lure the monster into the fort, while other Vikings stand guard on the fort. Shortly afterwards, the Moorwen they have been waiting for finally appears, but a priest carelessly approaches him and casts spells which makes the Moorwen angry and kill him instantly. Wulfric and Kainan immediately throw their spears and run into a trap they have prepared. Wulfric has to fall when the Moorwen nearly pounces on him, but luckily Kainan can save him. Hrothgar and the other Vikings immediately fire fiery arrows into the trap, which causes the trap to explode and burn the monster. They thought that their plan worked perfectly, but suddenly a boy notices that there is another Moorwen. All the women hiding inside panic and immediately rush out to save themselves. At the same time, the bigger Moorwen turns out to be still alive and manages to survive the trap. She again attacks them brutally before finally escaping from the village. Meanwhile, Hrothgar has been killed by a little Moorwen while trying to protect Freya. Hrothgar's death makes everyone sad, so all of them finally decide to leave the village except for Kainan and some Vikings who decide to stay at the village to hunt Moorwens, and Kainan tells Wulfric to be king and replace Hrothgar because they need someone to lead them. After that, they take water from the well, and they are surprised to find all the water has been mixed with blood. Kainan believes that the Moorwens come out from there and have a way out of the well. Therefore, he has a plan to get into the well, but before starting his plan they need stronger iron as a weapon to kill the Moorwens. Kainan then takes Wulfric and Freya to a lake where his spaceship crashed to retrieve metal shards from the spaceship. When he gets the iron and swims to the surface of the lake, he is shocked to see that their boat has been destroyed and Wulfric is unconscious, but Freya has mysteriously disappeared from there. Kainan and Wulfric rush to the fort and tell Boromir to make a metal sword from the materials he got from his spaceship. After that, they begin to carry out their plan and go into the well, and they are surprised to find that the well has a canal leading to a cave. Meanwhile, Freya is frightened after waking up among piles of corpses in the cave because the Moorwen turned out to have brought all of his prey into the cave. She screams hysterically and makes her whereabouts known to Moorwen, but as the Moorwen is about to eat her, one of the Vikings accidentally kicks a stone which makes the Moorwen distracted, and he finally leaves her to prey on other humans. Apparently, the Moorwen have reproduced and now there are 2 Moorwen, but luckily the mother is still injured after being hit by a trap last night. Kainan and his friends continue to move to find Freya, and some of them are suddenly attacked by the Moorwen. The little Moorwen is too powerful and manages to trick them all, which results in some of them being killed. Kainan then hears Freya's voice as she screams in fear, but at the same time, little Moorwen also hears her voice and begins to approach her. When he tries to pounce on Freya, Kainan and Wulfric come to save her from a narrow gap. Kainan then gives his sword to Freya, and she finally manages to kill the little Moorwen. After that, they immediately run away from there, but it turns out to be a dead end as the cave is on the cliff of a waterfall, and they also don't realize that the bigger Moorwen has awakened. As they try to escape over the steep cliff, suddenly a bigger Moorwen comes out and attacks Wulfric, so Kainan has no choice but to fight the Moorwen. He keeps trying to beat her until he almost makes the Moorwen fall off the cliff, and Kainan doesn't waste the opportunity to kill him immediately. However, Wulfric is dying, and at the last moment of his death, he asks Kainan to replace him and could be king longer than him. Kainan refuses to become king because his responsibilities are done and he has to return to his planet. After that, Kainan then goes to retrieve the device that is in the wreck of his spaceship. At night, he tries to give a signal to his friends, and not long after, a spaceship begins to approach to pick him up. Freya secretly watches what Kainan is doing, but Kainan unexpectedly destroys the device and sends the spaceship back away from Earth. Kainan apparently decided to stay on Earth with Freya and the Vikings because he already has no one on his planet. The following day, they hold the funeral ceremonies for Wulfric and Hrothgar, and on that day Kainan is also crowned king. Thanks for watching to the end. Don't forget to click subscribe for more movie recaps, and see you in the next video.